If you've been online for longer than 7 seconds, you're bound to have come across an ad promising you that you can make more money than you've ever seen in a single month with maybe a couple hours of work each week, completely remote from a computer and your internet connection anywhere in the world. You may have also noticed that the more shiny, absurd promises are mostly just a Ferrari rental, a couple of hired models, a lot of overconfidence, and an unbelievable willingness to scam people who don't know any better. But what you may not have realized yet are the more subtle strategies, the more creative methods, and the terrifying lengths to which these literal criminals come to defraud people of their hard-earned money. I first heard of online marketing just before quarantine. I had been a broke college student for a couple of years then, and the idea of even just making an extra buck here and there was way too much for me to resist. Me and a group of friends got into this hustle mindset more or less at the same time, each of us trying different things, including but not limited to affiliate marketing, dropshipping, supplement brands, direct marketing, amongst others. Funny enough, these never quite worked for us as well as they did for whoever had sold us the course on how to do it. Sometimes you'd maybe get a bit of profit before things turn sour, but more often it was all a huge loss of energy, time, and the little money that we had to invest in it. Eventually, I found something that actually worked okay for me. I learned to run paid ads and started an agency targeting local businesses. Many of my friends found similar gigs, and eventually we were all somehow decently compensated. Well, the money was much better than any 19-year-old could have expected, and I was grateful to have built it so quickly and at such a young age. It was still far from the promises that were made to me, my friends, and thousands of other mostly young men at the time. The pattern of overselling and under-delivering became increasingly clear. Even for mostly honest gurus, the truth was somehow always slightly distorted into the most positive overview, details were left out, and success stories were cherry-picked for the biggest impact. But why? How come all these people seem to have absurd results? Surely some of them were lying, but was that it? That is when I slowly found out about the other side of the market. Its evil twin brother, hidden from us in plain sight, let's call it. There are a lot of names to it, designed more to hide than to reveal what it really is about. Some call it the black market, or sensitive niches, or direct marketing, or product level rights, or direct response marketing. I'm sure in your country there might be other names for it. All of them have in common, however, is the sheer disregard for whomever is on the other side of the screen from them, and their willingness to steal, copy, impersonate, and bend platform rules, carefully hiding behind fake brands, funky automations, and clever excuses. Eventually, I felt stagnant. I wasn't going very far through the clean route, and thankfully, I wasn't willing to go down the wrong path either. So I did what any 21-year-old with a bit of cash and some online income would do. I went traveling the world. The first time in my life, I worked normal jobs, I volunteered, I went on months without working at all, and I learned a bunch of small random skills and spent most of my hard-earned money, if not all of it. It was an amazing experience, a pause in my adult life that taught me incredible things that made me see the world in a very different way. But I soon realized that the easy marketing gigs and the flexible online work I had been so accustomed to were something that most people could only ever dream of. Infinitely better than, well, bartending, working late hospitality shifts, or trading manual work for a bed and a couple of meals. So eventually, the road started to feel more like, less like freedom and more like procrastination. And I knew it was time to get back to real life. When I decided to go back into online work, I took a safer path, far away from the marketing and the sales and the scam. I became an English as a foreign language teacher. It felt comfortable, something with lots of demand, where I could use marketing to get more clients, but not directly related to anything I did before. What I didn't realize is this would show me more about the market that I had abandoned than I ever knew when I was in it. When I advertised my services, a lot of people who knew me from my previous work were interested. Some of them referred me, and soon I had multiple students who ran everything from dropshipping stores to online casinos to supplement brands. All very successful, mind you, because I charge a pretty stiff price. So interestingly, what they would never dream of sharing publicly or on their Instagram profiles, by the way, they started openly sharing it with me during the English classes. I guess I built some trust, and I was bombarded with secrets that I had never even asked for. How did they run their ads, for example? Well, they would run ads across dozens of ads managers, just waiting for them to be blocked for going against platform policy, and then they would immediately re-upload the ad into new freshly bought accounts. Business manager nurturing and sales was a whole business in and of itself. How did they create offers? They didn't. They simply spied on their competitors to see what was working and copied the products and their video sales letters word for word without guilt. How did they spy on their competitors? Some of them had actual inside men working for Meta, for TikTok, or for Google, who, for a fee, would literally send them screenshots out of other people's accounts without them knowing, showing best performing ads, amount invested, detailed demographics, and more. How did they have such low refund rates, for example? They had many different strategies for this. Some of them would delay delivery until refunds were no longer possible. Some would send automatic emails promising refunds, but never actually follow through. But the most ingenious method I found out about, however, was to literally plug an automation into the website so that whenever someone purchased, their email would be slightly altered before it was sent to the payment processor. This meant that if they tried to access the platform, their actual email would be invalid. This guy's refund rate, unsurprisingly, was literally 0%. How did they get testimonials? Well, before AI was a thing, they would just buy it online. Now they manufacture it with AI prompts and 11 Labs pretty much. How did they create their ads? Mostly using celebrity voices and faces. Complete impersonation, completely illegal, yet no accountability whatsoever. Their whole offer was a complete lie, through and through. A made-up person with a made-up story, with fake testimonials and a product that they themselves would not use if their lives depended on it. What sort of products were they selling? Mostly pills and courses. But more important than that is who they were selling to. Weight loss or erectile dysfunction personas for sure, but also people with cancer, diabetes, and other serious life-threatening conditions. If you were one of these desperate people, wouldn't you be tempted to buy? They don't play on belief, they play on emotions, targeting people's deepest weaknesses and desires. They want the promise to be true, even though they know that they aren't. I felt like I was on the other side of a confessional, except in my case, there was no remorse coming from the other side. They would boast about it or say it was just, their only option, like they were forced to commit literal fraud. The worst part, this could all be stopped if the advertising platforms really, really wanted to. But why would they? These people represent a plurality, if not a downright majority of their advertising revenue. Not a single one of these people is in jail. Not a single one of them is prosecuted. And I'm not sure that they will ever be. And don't think these criminals are small or niche. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They're hiding in plain sight. Some of them have huge followings online, preaching what they do, but leaving out the ugly beats. So in a world where you compete with such people, how are you meant to win? Is there no hope for those of us who want to start an honest business and make a living? I will try to end this video on a positive note by helping you guys with 5 things that you can do to protect yourself in this terrifying market. The first thing you can do is be good, or even better, be great. If you're truly excellent at whatever it is that you do or that you sell, you will have something that these guys can never have. Recurring buyers, referrals, actual customer satisfaction. This allows you to invest more into client acquisition and win the game in the long run. The second thing you can do is create content. Because of the nature of what these people do, they can never truly show themselves except as coaches when they're hiding what they actually do. By showing yourself, you create an audience and spark real connections. These connections can generate sales at no cost to you, and people who know you from your content will be infinitely more reliable and invested in what you do. The third tool is actually going local. It's harder to scam someone that you know in person. This not only makes it riskier, but it also makes some people's hearts kind of hesitate a little bit. Thanks to this, honest players like you have an advantage. Getting local clients might be the start, but it's still a good start. The fourth thing is one-on-one sales. They're a very powerful tool that you can use. It creates genuine connection. It allows you to generate value before selling and also charge more for your product or your service. The age of setting up a funky sales page and directly selling without an audience are long gone, if they ever existed. I'm not sure that ever actually happened. Lead generation and personalized sales are the only way forward for anyone looking to start something on Honest Online. And last but not least, you can create a brand. This takes longer than any of the other tips, but if you can truly create a brand that is not entirely linked to your image, you can actually create value by having a product people know that they can trust. This also makes it far more likely for you to be able to sell your company down the line. Starting an online business might not be as easy as you were sold, but hey, what is? I'm still giving it a go. And though I know many people who succeeded unethically, I'm personally friends with many who still decided to go with the truth and follow the rules. And they're still successful too. Success might come slower, but believe me, it will be infinitely more gratifying, and you will actually be able to sleep guilt-free at night. Stay strong, and best of luck of you all.